Hello everyone, my name is Darshan, and in my last few videos we've looked at the SEC filings analysis workflow and the patent intelligence workflow, which have been developed as part of the Mycroft framework. But to be honest, both of them have been standalone, and we were now working on integrating them into a central intelligence hub. To do that, I had to make a few changes and improvements to both of the workflows. First, let's go through these changes, and then I'll show you what the Intelligence Hub does. Both of the workflows have pretty much the same changes, so I'll go through the SEC filings analysis workflow and explain you the changes. First, the biggest change in here is that instead of a manual trigger, the workflow now gets triggered using a webhook. This just exposes the workflow to a REST API endpoint, and it can be called programmatically from anywhere. This you can set the URL based on the path over here, test or production. If you can see, for test URL, the way you do it is just copy, make sure that your workflow is on, and then from any browser, if you just go and pass in the query parameters, for ticker equal to Microsoft, you'll see that the workflow gets automatically triggered and does all the steps that it's supposed to do, and we didn't have to manually execute it. And yeah, so it just gets completed. The next change that I did was a comprehensive execution logging. I added Python nodes that log the progress to a log file. At each step, the log file gets updated with the progress, and we can keep track of it centrally so that we know at what step the system is currently at the moment. This just gives us a better monitoring and better view of the system when we integrate it into a central system instead of just keeping it active, which we can't anymore since this will be triggered programmatically. And next is the persistent storage. So previously, all the files were getting deleted and we were just storing the analysis, which is enough if you manually want to check it. But if you want some LLM or some AI system to use that data to generate some insights, that's not enough. So we need all the data saved. So I created a persistent system where all the data gets stored under certain directories, and those directories are passed throughout the workflows so that we can add new data, check the data, and use that as a context for whatever system that we will be building next. Uh, so these were the three main changes, and these are exactly replicated same in the patent intelligence system as well. So I won't go through all of those again. But one major change is while testing, the webhook URL is a get method, but in the actual intelligence hub, I've configured it as a post. So make sure to keep the method as post before saving. I'll save it, and yeah. uh, but then now the challenge is that people wouldn't want to construct these URLs with query parameters manually. So because we wouldn't want to remember ticker symbols and calculate all the periods for patents, we would just like to ask questions. So that's where the intelligence hub comes into the play. The Intelligence Hub is basically an AI orchestrator. It uses local LLMs to understand natural language, and it automatically calls the right workflows based on the query that has been asked. The first LLM acts as the router. It has a system prompt that basically explains what tools are available and how to decide which tool to call, and it calls either or. We currently have just two financial workflows, so those are the two integrated right now. And The second LLM that you can see, this uses the data. So the data that we stored in the persistent data storage, it uses that as context and creates an executive summary report based on the data that we used. And we basically are, what we're doing is we're just getting the LLM to give us a markdown format of the report. We're converting it to HTML, from HTML to PDF. We download that PDF and save it on the system so that we can use it for analysis. This could further improve to send those PDFs to emails or Discord or Slack bots based on any HTTP request that we can make. Yeah, so I'll just show you how this works briefly. This is a chat based triggered window. So if you just open the chat and just say analyze NVIDIA's financials. One more thing about having a LLM do the routing is that there could be spelling mistakes, there could be vague options, and it will still choose the correct uh, routing. So as you can see, once the query is passed, it goes to the LLM, it works on it, it decides what tools to call. It should work any moment. It takes a while at the first execution because it has a certain startup period, but as you can see, it did correctly go to the call SSC workflow node over here. If I can zoom in, yeah. Now it's running. We log it again over here. We aggregate the results. If we were to call both of them, then the extract from file node basically just extracts all the file that we saved as part of the SSE workflow and passes it to the analyst LLM chain. It also has the Ollama model, which is served locally. This takes a while because it has quite a lot of context and quite a lot of numbers to go through to generate the report. Once that is done, we just log it again, convert the markdown to HTML, HTML to PDF, we write it and we log. So if we go to the folders, you can see we have the final analysis report, which has all the executive summary, the key findings, risk factors, and all these numbers are actual numbers based on the SEC filings that were filed by the company. So yeah, this is how the progress has been on the two workflows and the intelligence hub that we've been working on. The next steps are to just build more and more tools and keep adding them to this so that by the time we get a report generated, it takes into account everything and all the possible data sources that are available. You can find all the documentation and system architecture for the intelligence hub and the improvements over the Mycroft GitHub repository under financial intelligence hub, and my details are also linked into the readme at the top. So if you have any more questions, feel free to email me or reach out anywhere. Thank you.